you have that urge to continuously learn. You always wanted to be, up to date on what's happening around you, and you always wanted to succeed, and you wanted to be standing out of the crowd, right? So those are all the characteristics. If one possesses that, he tries to learn the session over the weekend from the continuous learning point of view. I'm really excited and happy to see every one of you joining the session. The session that we are in together, the brand for this session is, we are calling it as a Decoding 5G.ZONE. So what does it mean is, in practice, it's the zone that we wanted to make every one of us to come in and decode the 5G, meaning explore the full power of 5G technology, so that as an individual, we can thrive, as well as a business that we run, we can thrive, right? So that's the thought process. That's the concept behind the name Decoding 5G.ZONE. What we basically try to, whatever that I explained, what does it mean in a nutshell is, this particular zone is going to allow us to skill up and innovation up, and going to provide whatever that we need as an individual to be successful, and as a organization and business to be successful. That's the thought process. So this particular program is organized by a couple of organizations together. The first organization is Testoper Community. It's a non-profit organization in Canada. They do, I'll little bit talk about what they are in a while. But the bottom line is, it's organized by Testoper Community and joined by Wave Labs as a co-organizer to enable the skill up, innovation up of 5G technology to the wider audience. And the beauty here is, this program is free, right? And sometimes when it is free, it's not valued. But what do we expect out of this program is that those who really have the passion to become successful, we wanted to provide all that required. In other words, the platform that is required for them to be successful. And the industry experts, whoever have joined hands as a volunteers to run this program, are committed to do that. Okay, so that's Testoper Community and Wave Labs. And Brampton is, I'm pretty sure most of you know. For those who do not know, Brampton is a city in the Greater Toronto area. It's a vibrant, beautiful city. They have a lot of ambitions, and they are, it's one of the high-tech city within Canada. And I'm really thankful for Brampton, city of Brampton, to support us, sponsor us. When we went to them with this kind of an idea that we wanted to do to upskill, skill up, to upskill and innovation up on 5G technology, they really supported us. Thanks for them. So in addition to that, we also have industry companies and organizations, nonprofits who are supporting us to make this program successful. I'll just quickly say the name, but in course of the presentation, you will understand more about them because they will get involved in helping you all to become successful in what we are trying to do. The first organization is Magma. This particular program is going to be focused on upskilling the 5G technology, but as a open source, we'll be using Magma to help you all to learn, the 5G technology and the brain of the 5G technology. I'll talk about what it is in a while. Then we also have companies, Arna Networks, who provide the orchestration, lifecycle management of multiple products for the 5G technology. So they are one of our supporters. We'll be working with them. They'll also be helping us. Then I also have another company called MyCloud BSS. Bhavin is here. This particular company builds the BSS system, which will also be one of the key component of the 5G technology. We'll learn more about it in the process. We also have an operator. It's not a big operator, but I'm pretty sure moving forward, we will have many operators, many vendors supporting this event because we're just getting started today. And I do believe that we have a mix of partners. We have vendors, we have open source partners, and we also have an ISP, an operator in South Sudan, Dishnet Africa, and their experience in running the live network of 4G and eventually 5G. They sharing their experience will also be very helpful for all of us to learn this technology. We also have a couple of local Canadian representatives. Chote Law is a law firm who supports us. They are also part of Testopper community, and they support us in every step of the way. And we also have Women That Give is another organization. As a community, we are diverse and inclusive community, and we are really happy to have Women That Give organization supporting us with this initiative. Thanks a lot, Fazia, if you are there. Then we also have, one of the real estate, local real estate, it's called as Desi Real Estate. They sell awesome houses, both corporate and residential houses. They are also a great supporters. Unfortunately, I did not have their logo. I could not put it in here, probably in the future sessions. So in addition to them, we also have in-kind supporters, Microsoft, Google, GitHub, and YouTube. They have provided us the in-kind sponsorship with their Microsoft Azure Cloud, Google Cloud credits, GitHub accounts, and YouTube, for us to run this program. So I like to take a minute to really thank every one of them who came in front to help us to get this program kicked off today. Moving forward, a little bit about Testopper community. So it's a nonprofit community. This program is organized by a nonprofit community together with other partners that I explained before. And the goal of this community is to really empower every person to develop future skills and innovation. That's what we wanted to really do. And helping, picking the 5G technology to do that is a privilege for us to do, working together with the partners. And the beauty of this particular nonprofit community is there's no full-time employees. Everyone is volunteer. Any one of you can join in this effort of decoding 5G.Zone and help this particular initiative to shape up and become successful. Because there is no materialistic benefit out of this whole activity that we are trying to do. We do raise some funds through sponsorship and donation, but most of those funds are spent on tools and other things that we do, and pretty much not for any materialistic reasons. So that could also be another great reason for you all to support this initiative. It is truly a people-led grassroots initiative. And it is truly an open community run by volunteers, not a full-time employees. And happy to have you all with us today. And the second co-organizer, Wave Labs, it's a company which provides the technology services and solutions to their customers. And I work for that company, and I'm two hats that I wear. The first hat that I wear is I'm proud to be a lead volunteer within this nonprofit organization. And the second hat that I wear is from the Wave Labs. I'm also proud to support this event and lead this event and bring in more stakeholders to come and present and share their experiences in the future sessions. Right. So I'm proud to be here. Joining me is Suresh. Suresh, are you able to hear us? Today, mostly I'll be speaking, but a lot of sessions moving forward. Suresh and their team and plus partner teams will join to help you guys to skill up and innovation up. Right, so I'll pause here to see if there is any question or any comments from anyone. All good so far? All good, everyone? Let's make it more interactive.
Yes, Doctor. All good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Good.
Thank you very much. Awesome. So, because this is the first session, I just want to make sure that there are certain things that we set up correctly. So a little bit of governance and logistics. So you're all in the Microsoft Teams. Make sure that you enable your video to, create an interactive session. Unfortunately, because I'm presenting, I'm not able to see your video, but I would like to really have you guys on the video so others can see and we can have an interactive session. Feel free to unmute the audio and speak, and also send your questions. There is no formal stuff, right? This is more like a joint collaboration of all of us to share and learn. That's the kind of environment that I wanted to really create. Obviously, there are certain legal aspects, from the disclaimer point of view. If you don't wanted this particular session to be recorded, I trust. Just want to make sure the second session is recording, right?
Yeah, Alex started it.
Perfect. So those who don't want to show yourself in the video or have reservations to speak and record, please feel free to not enable audio and video, but please, you're welcome to listen and learn. And of course, all the personal data that we have collected through the Eventbrite that you have sent to us, we will keep it confidential and we will use only for the communication related to the Testoper and this particular program for you all to come and join us and learn. And finally, we are here to help you to grow, but we don't take any responsibility of your career or your business successes. But we are here to enable those things, but we are not responsible for it. And finally, we use Microsoft Teams. We are taking attendance of all those who have attended today, and we will be sending out an invite. You would be seeing it. Please also remember to see it in the spam folder. And once you have it, you can actually join this Microsoft Teams and you can collaborate in that team. And that collaboration will enable us to continue this program, not only during this 1 hour bi-weekly, but also during outside of this 1 hour. That's the key for success. See, in 1 hour, we are not going to learn much, right? What we are going to learn much is enabling the collaboration and cooperation within this DecodingTech.ZONE channel and sharing our experiences, asking questions, and that's where we are going to really learn. So please take that seriously, and I do expect, sincerely hope that you will do that to make this thing successful. And again, if you or your company like to sponsor to make this particular initiative, a nonprofit initiative, successful, please feel free to reach out to us at sponsor@decoding5G.ZONE. And if you have any technical difficulties and if you're getting email, you don't know how to log in into Teams and create account, you can always reach out to email address support@decoding5G.ZONE. Moving forward, so let's jump into some of the key things that I wanted to articulate. Why are we actually doing this program, right? It's very important for us to understand before we get into the actual program content. So you name it, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of names that you're hearing, right? Industry 4.0, Web 3.0, Business 2.0, Enterprise 4.0. Nowadays, a big buzzword is Metaverse. I mean, if you look at anything and everything that you hear, but if you have to bring all these things into one simple understanding, what is happening around us, it's pretty simple, right? What we are trying to do, any product, solutions, services, use cases, you name it, right? What we are really trying to do is we are trying to bring the physical world attributes like sensors, machines, and everything, replicate that in the digital world using tools, frameworks, tech stacks that we adopt, and bring in the intelligence, right? Either smart intelligence, meaning whatever that you have learned in the past, you're trying to use it, and the other one is real intelligence, meaning with that you also predict the future stuff, right? Thinking. So bringing that human aspect into it, whether it's an immersive aspect to it, cognitive aspect to it, intention, gestures, desires. How can we bring all these three worlds, physical, digital, and human world, and solve the customer problem, right? And that's what is happening. Any tech industry you take, any product you take, in one or other form, this is what it's trying to do. We are trying to really build a fully connected, intelligent products and solutions. As a result, a fully connected, intelligent world. That's what we are trying to do, right? And we might use number of technologies. We might use number of programming languages, stacks, frameworks to achieve that, right? Whether in the form of products, platforms, solutions, services, use cases, that's what we try to do. But what is important to understand is there's number of different things that comes into the play. No one thing is bigger than other thing, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying 5G is the super technology than any other technology. No, not at all, right? No one technology is better than other technology. But what is important is how are you going to leverage all these technologies so that you can create products, platforms, solutions, use cases to solve the customer problem. That's the most important thing across different industries. And when you look at that, 5G is one of the key technology that's going to catalyst every innovation that's transforming multiple industries. Why it is important? Again, I'm not saying 5G is the important, right? Every other technology is important, but why 5G is important is because if you're going to use different technologies and if you're trying to do something like, for example, AR, VR, and you're going to collect the 360-degree 3D and 4D related data set, you need somehow move that data from your device to a computer to a server I mean, you need some kind of a connectivity, a high-speed connectivity, low latency connectivity, high throughput connectivity. You need, right? And the 5G can really help you to, 5G can fill that gap. So that is why, it's always different forums, different industry experts say that 5G is the catalyst and also the foundation and a platform to enable innovation, enable every other technologies to solve the customer problems. Okay. So end of the day, the summary of this slide is, you name it, whatever it is, Industry 4.0, 3.0, you're trying to bring physical, digital, and human world together. Number of technologies is going to play a role, and 5G is going to catalyst and help other technologies to solve the customer problems in form of anything, right? Platform, products, solutions, services, and use cases. So that's the most important thing that I wanted you all to understand. Now, it's that 5G, we agree that is a catalyst to transform multiple industries and help multiple technologies to move the data from one place to another place. Let's look at from opportunity point of view. I, as an individual, what is an opportunity for me? Right? If I have to become an expert of 5G, what is an opportunity for me? I mean, if you go and look at this 5G economy study done by IHS and Qualcomm together, you would get that answer. It's just a snapshot that I have put here so that you understand, but you would get the answer. The answer is pretty simple. There's a lot of jobs going to be created if you are good in this technology, right? It's predicted around 22.8 million jobs by 2035. That's a lot of job, and this could be a right technology. If you upskill, you can benefit from that. And I can tell you practically today in our organization, we look to hire 5G experts, 4G experts, and 3G experts. I mean, there's very less number of experts out there, right, who knows this knowledge, and it becomes very difficult to get. And even if we find someone and his cost is so high that the customer, what they are willing to pay is actually lower than the cost that their resource is expecting. But that's not sustainable. And that's also one another good reason why we have to make this Decoding 5G.Zone successful together as a team. And the second thing, from the business point of view, if you look at the left one, it is expected that sales-enabled 5G related growth will accelerate the global economy by 13.1 trillion by 2035. That's a lot of money. And it's going to contribute, right, a GDP growth of 10.8% over next 15 years. That's a lot of growth, right? And the message I wanted to really give you is, it could be, right, if you're interested to take this to the next level, it could be one of the key technology that you can invest your time in and become successful, rest of the career or maybe even rest of your life, right? Maybe today is 5G, maybe in future 6G, but that's the point I wanted to really communicate. Moving forward, so how can we really achieve that? Okay, we know it's a great opportunity. As an individual and business, how can we really achieve that? I mean, the fundamentals is very simple. We have to mitigate industries facing skill shortages. That's the basic fundamental thing that we need to do. If we are able to do that, and if I as an individual become an expert, and I as an individual contribute to reduce this industry facing skill and innovation shortages in this particular technology, then I can be successful, industry can be successful, my company can be successful. And even the country, the city like Brampton can be successful, countries, and even globally, everyone can be successful, right? So that's the thought process. So in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to focus on two main things. First thing is we got to focus on expertise. We got to develop expertise, help the community to develop expertise through continuous learning. And the continuous learning is the only way that you can do that. And the second thing is, it's not about only theory, right? You need to have a practical knowledge on how this different things comes together and the networks get deployed and different technologies, not only 5G, AI, AR, VR, all these things comes together to enable different use cases, across different industries. You got to understand that big picture. If you understand that big picture, and if you are practically able to relate to what theoretically that you learn, or even theoretically you implement in your code on some development activities, or theoretically test when you're testing some products that you're building for 5G, will become meaningful, right? So it's very important that you build expertise, and also you build ecosystem. And if we do these two things, then we can be successful. And that's what we exactly wanted to achieve in Decoding 5G.Zone. So now, how is it possible for us to do? If I think about it like 10, 15 years ago, okay, what happened was, if I have to learn 3G technology, I got to work in companies who are building the 3G products, right? All closed source products. That's how it used to be. But that barrier is not there anymore. I mean, there's a number of open sources that are out there, and there's awesome work done by Linux Foundation Networking. They do a end-to-end 5G blueprint, everything put together by open sources. Now, the barrier to entry is not at all there. I don't have to work in a big company to really learn this technology and become successful or become master in it, right? There are so many resources that are available. It's only as an individual, my thought process, my dedication, my effort is the limit to learn nowadays, right? It's not, there's no other barriers, right? I mean, you don't have to really, in the olden days, we used to expect our companies have to provide us training to become successful. Nowadays, it's not required. There's so much of information that are available. Think about it, Google in 20, 30 years ago, when we wanted to learn something, we go to the library or we go to the teacher to ask. Now you just open a browser and type in, you get a plethora of information in front of you, right? So we live in a different world and we need to change ourselves and our mindset to adapt to this different world. And there is no barriers. And it's just, like I mentioned, our intention, our effort, our time, dedication, our time spent is the limit to what you can learn. If you do more of it, you can learn more of it, you know more. If you have more expertise, you become more successful, right? And again, that's from the open source point of view. Like I said, again, thanks to some of the partners who are supporting this program, like Wave Labs, Arna, MyCloud, DishNet Africa, and Magma. And I'm pretty sure that there will be more organization, and whoever you are attending here, you will go back and you will talk to your organization, you will bring support, and together we can make this Decoding 5G.Zone really, really successful. So that's whatever that you heard, right, so far, that's what we're really going to do in Decoding 5G.Zone. We're going to skill up and innovation up on individuals so that they can build their expertise. And also we will bring the ecosystem with all the partners that I've already spent to help you guys to build the expertise, not only theoretical, but also practical aspects. As an example, we're going to have Wave Labs team supporting us with the lab. So we can actually go and practically look at how the end-to-end network is going to be deployed and how it runs, right? And we are going to actually see that in a real environment. I will invite, Bhavin from DishNet Africa to kind of share how in practically this whole thing works together. I mean, we'll go through this journey together. And if we are able to spend this time together, we can really be successful in what we wanted to achieve as an individual and as a business, okay? And while we are building an expertise and ecosystem, this technology is huge, right? We obviously cannot learn everything. So we got to focus. First, what we will do is in today's session and in the next session, we will understand the big picture, right? And then we'll select one particular open source. What we have selected to start with is a Magma. And I will explain what Magma is in a little later. And we will, that's called as the brain of a 5G network, right? It's a core network, which is normally called as the brain of 5G network. And that's what we are going to learn. And we are also going to use some third-party, partner products to connect the Magma with that, and going to get a feel of end-to-end network understanding, both theoretically and practically, right? So that's what we are going to really achieve. End of the day, Decoding 5G.Zone really wanted to help you guys to develop your expertise and ecosystem by providing you the platform. Providing you the platform and focused on Magma. To build the knowledge on Magma and around Magma for the end-to-end network. So guys, thank you for coming. I trust it's pretty clear to you all what we are trying to achieve. And my ask to you guys is just let's make sure that we together as a team are able to achieve this. It's not one person's effort or 10 or 15 volunteers who's going to train you their effort. It's our collective effort to make this whole thing successful. Now it's that I spoke multiple times about Magma, right? So what is it? What is it? Let me introduce a little bit before we get into the mainstream. So what Magma is, it's an open source, first of all, okay? So like barrier to entry to learn a core network from a closed source is gone, right? So we have an open source. We can learn 5G core network together. Now, those who are new, I have a short survey to understand what kind of an audience are attending the session. But those who are new, just understand when you have a phone and I have, when you're trying to call me, right? It goes through a number of different, transmission paths and devices, so that my phone rings and we both talk to each other, right? So that's what it is. And in this whole set of different devices, and equipments in between that connects multiple devices is structured into different blocks. And one of the block is called as a core network. And that core network is the brain of the complete mobile network. And Magma is an open source of that particular. Magma is an open source that provides that particular core network. Okay, so that's why we call it as the brain of your mobile network. Core network is the brain of your mobile network, and Magma is an open source that provides that brain for your mobile network. And what you see here in between, that is the brain, and it has multiple components. You will learn in the subsequent session. I don't want to get into the details of that now. You will learn in the subsequent session. For now, you understand it's an open source that provides the core network, which we are going to learn together as a team. And not only that, we are also going to bring different components centered around Magma to practically build end-to-end network and learn from that as well, theoretically in the lab, as well as practically how it happens in the real production network. So we'll go through this process together. Okay, so now what's the goal? Right? Now, so far, what I've tried to achieve is how important is 5G, and what is Decoding 5G.ZONE is trying to really achieve. This is what I have so far explained, right? Now, what is the roadmap for this year for Decoding 5G.ZONE? It's not one-off session today, okay? It's a bi-weekly session. We have 12 sessions planned, and every 12 session, each session, we have a topic that we would be covering. There will be a lot of hands-on activities, practical understanding that you will go through. Right. So that's the first thing, right? That's what we are starting today. We are calling it as Decoding 5G.ZONE. We have 12 sessions, and it's going to help you to develop the expertise, both theoretical and practical. Then the second thing that we are going to do is we are going to bring in partners, and we are going to practically understand how, centered around Magma, all these different components comes together so that end-to-end network is formed. So you and me can actually speak through the phone. And the operator, whoever is providing the services, are able to build and able to monitor the networks, able to secure the networks, able to automate the networks, and things like that, right? So this is very, very critical for businesses also to strive and become successful. And while we go through and learn this expertise and ecosystem together, starting today all the way to August, and we're going to end this effort by having one-day full physical and hybrid conference in Toronto on September 23rd. And that conference name will be DecodingTech.ZONE, and in that we will be focusing on Decoding 5G.ZONE, as well as we'll be focusing on Decoding METAVERSE.ZONE, right, as 2 tracks. And we will end all our learning with in-person meetings, presentations, sessions, exhibiting different companies' product in typical conference, right? We'll end this journey with that conference that's going to happen on September 23rd. Okay, so this is going to be the roadmap that we are going to go together as a team. So now I will pause here to make sure that so far so good and everyone is okay to whatever that I spoke and you all understood. Robert, Fazia, Jamie, Mickey, all clear, right? What we are going to do together. So you guys are with me? Make this happen?
Yes. I can hear. Yeah, this is straightforward and it's very, very interesting. Thank you, Kadir.
So are you guys with me to make this happen? That's the most.
All going good.
So I'm going to continue to spend 1 hour Saturday bi-weekly. That's 2 hours with me to make this successful. And I will not ask more than that, but will also ask more than that. So outside of these 2 hours, you can also spend time in a collaboration channel where we can continue to learn more and more, right, together as a team and make this whole thing successful. Now, it's that I have spoken about collaboration channel. Let's look at what it is, right? And I wanted to make sure that you all understand. Today, whoever has attended, we are taking attendance, and we will be sending an email to help you to join the Testopper Decoding 5G.Zone channel here. Okay, and once you get the invite, all you have to do is download the Microsoft Teams and put your email address and do a reset password. You'll be good, right? You will be inside, and once you are inside, you automatically will have access to this whole thing, and in that you will see Decoding 5G.Zone, right? And that's the place we will be collaborating, and in that you will normally see files. In this place, we will put all our presentations, and we will also put the YouTube link to the videos of this particular session. So that's number one, okay? And then number two is, because we are going to learn Magma, so there's a lot of support that you would get if you are in the Magma Slack. And in the Magma Slack, we have a channel called Wavelabs 5G-support, and you can actually join the Magma Slack, and we can, if anything related to the Magma, we can collaborate there. But Decoding 5G.Zone, it's not only Magma, right? We'll also learn radio, Open RAN, and many other things moving forward. But because this particular program, that expertise program is focused on Magma, we can also collaborate in Magma. And once you are inside that Slack, Magma Slack, there's so many other things that you can learn. And we are all there for you to support there as well, in addition to supporting non-Magma related stuff in the Testopper community Decoding 5G.Zone initiative channel. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. What you all can do is you can copy this link and you can copy this link and keep it and you can join later. And then once you are joined in Slack channel, go to Wavelabs 5G support and say hi to me. I'll acknowledge. And I'm looking forward to every one of you to join that session. All right. So the next one is, let me quickly check if there is any questions here. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks. Some volunteer has put about WhatsApp stuff, and we stopped using WhatsApp because of the lot of spam. Let's not do that. And please join this Slack channel, and we will also send you the link, and we can go from there. So there are some questions. Khader, what would be the target prospect base for Wavelabs to monetize this initiative? See, Wavelabs is one of the organizer of this particular program, Rajesh. And we are supporting this program as an organizers to skill up and innovation up individuals. It's not only for Wavelabs, it's going to help many other organizations. If you are able to skill up number of people, I myself can recruit a lot of people who has a knowledge for our organization. There's number of activities that we are going to do, and we get contacts. See, end of the day, these kind of collaborations increases the contacts. Community activities increases the contacts, and the contacts eventually results in some benefit for individuals and businesses, right? That's how it works. And it's not only for Wavelabs, this answer is specific to Wavelabs, but it's also specific to every one of you here and the company that you represent. Moving forward, will we be able to set up our own 5G network? Salim, yes. That's what we are going to do together. We're going to learn and we will work together to get there. That's the idea. I already have a Microsoft Team account for Testopper community. Do I still need to register separately for decoding? No, if you have a Testopper community stuff, you can actually log in. You will see it there, Decoding 5G.Zone, and you can start collaborating there. Damelza, how does 5G relate to the cybersecurity domain? Good question. See, 5G is one of the technology. Like that, you have AI, AR, VR. There are a number of other technologies that are there, right? Different people explain it in different way. The way that I explain is these are all the different technologies, but there are certain technologies, normally I call it as the interfaces, architecture and interfaces that cuts across horizontally, right? Like for example, cybersecurity, it cuts across horizontally, meaning whether you are building a mobile app, whether you are building an IoT product with IoT technology or 5G, whatever products, services, solutions that you build, everything has to be secured, right? So cybersecurity kind of cuts across from the point of view of you writing a code securely to the point of view of protecting your ports, to protecting your organization with firewalls, devices. Cybersecurity is there everywhere, right? So that's my answer, and you will learn more and more as we continue on next sessions. Perfect. Mahesh, does 5G technology replace all our traditional wireline products, leased line circuits? No. Not necessarily. Every technology will have its roles to play. Every technology has its own advantages and disadvantages, right? But yes, if you look at it as an individual, think about it at home, right? Would you like to have so many wires that you wanted to put inside your home connecting different devices, or you just put one router and connect all those devices wirelessly? Which one would you like, right? So it's case by case. That's my answer, right? But definitely 5G is a technology. Maybe moving forward, 6G, 7G could replace everything wireless, and if everything we can, whatever we can do wireless, obviously we all as an individual prefer to do that. But remember, wireless is a wireless when you are accessing, right, from the device. But wireless is not a wireless. Like if you have a satellite, okay, and maybe you can say, let's say I'm in Canada and someone is in, let's say, Vietnam or some other, and we both can communicate truly wirelessly through satellite. Okay, fine. Okay. But outside of that, most of the time what happens is I have a device that I connected to the antenna, and up to that it is wireless. From antenna all the way to other person's antenna, it's all wired again. Right? So it's combination of multiple things that's going to really help you guys. All right, so let's move forward. The next one. So this I kind of already said, support DECODING5G.ZONE, sponsor DECODING5G.ZONE to email address. Those individuals, you can also request your company if they're interested to sponsor. And I know, Robert, you did some donation. Thanks a lot. It really helps for a nonprofit organization to run. Thanks a lot for that. And you also have this. I want to say this. This is very, very important, right? You register for today's session. So you got a reminder email from Eventbrite, and you joined the session today. That's really good. Thank you for that. Okay. But for the next session, which is going to happen in 2 weeks, you got to register for that session as well. It's a recursive session. Once you register, means it doesn't automatically you're registered for all 12 sessions. You got to register once again. And if you don't like doing that, going to Eventbrite and registering, no worries. Just copy and paste this link and keep it with you. Okay, and block your calendar because I'm not allowed to send bulk calendar invites, which is considered as a spam. That's why I did not send the calendar invite to you all. But if you don't want it to go and register for all the rest 11 programs, what you can do is just copy and keep this in a WordPad. Sorry about that. Yeah, in the WordPad or Notepad, or even you can create the same time 1 hour appointment in your calendar and copy this link. So when you click this link, it will get you into this program automatically, into this Teams, right? If you register it, that's good. If you don't register it, you don't want to register all the programs, you can keep that with you. That will help you. Right, so that's engagement and collaboration. Now, what I'm going to quickly do is a quick survey, just only 3 questions I have, 3 or 4 questions I have. Why I need this is I wanted to really understand the audience who have attended and what is their experience level, so that moving forward in all the 11 sessions and also 15 more minutes that I'll be spending with you, I use the language in a way that it's easy to kind of understand the fundamentals, at least, before we get into the details in the subsequent sessions. So I'm going to do this, copy this, and I'm going to put it in the chat. Just 3 questions, right? Not many. So the first link that I put there is to join the Microsoft Teams meeting for the next session. And the second link that I'm putting here is a short survey. If you can just open that and quickly, just 4 questions, it will take like 3 seconds. Even I'm going to do it, right? So let me see. No personal information is asked, just to kind of understand, right? What is your gender? What's your age? Because it's very important when we are providing this training. We provide this training in a more age-friendly manner, and we would like to have people attending from different ages to skill up and innovation up. That's why we ask this question. And your years of experience, whatever that your years of experience. And then this is the most important question. Your exposure to the 5G technology. Are you new? You have a domain knowledge, you have developed products, tested, deployed. I mean, it's a radio button. You can select more than one. It is intentional, but whatever that you have more experience, you can click it, right? So that's pretty much it is. And then what is your expectation? So I kind of already explained what we wanted to really help you. We wanted to help you to develop your expertise, bring ecosystem in front of you with the partners so you can understand the big picture, how to deploy end-to-end networks and things like that, how to operate and so on. That's what we wanted to really achieve. And outside of this, if you wanted to have any expectation, let us know. We are not limited to this 12 sessions that we have planned. And if there is a request that's coming in that many of the people support to have that particular session, we will organize a special session to get some experts to give you insights and training on that area as well. Okay, so you can type whatever that you need, and then if you don't have anything, you can just say none, and then you can just say submit. Okay, so please quickly do that. Let's see where we are. Let's see. Okay, we'll just take one more minute because we got to get moving. We have 10 more minutes before we close the session. Responses 17. Okay, perfect. Let's response 20. Perfect. How many are there today attending? Close to 40. This is really good. So we have 24 responses so far. I really appreciate if you could do this quickly. And once it crosses 25, I think we will review this together so we all understand where we stand. Okay, perfect. So we need to have more diverse and inclusive organization. We need to get more. So Fazia, you have a lot of work to do for us to get more people attending from Women That Give, if you're still around. Age category, a lot of us are adults. There is youth. This is also good to see. And it would also be good to see if we can get some more people above and bottom. So we have a combination, students, intern, less than 1 year. This is really good. We are distributed across different work experience level. Awesome. And this is the most important question. Okay, there's a lot of people who are new to 5G. Some have domain knowledge, developed 5G product, tested 5G product, deployed, designed, marketed. This is really good. Perfect. Have started 5G product. This is really awesome. Perfect. So as you can see, we have a good combination of individuals. And if every one of you contribute in your own experience that you have gained in the Slack channel, as well as in the Decoding 5G.Zone channel, non-Magma related, just think about it, right? We all can share our knowledge, learn our knowledge, and we can really be successful. That's what I wanted to really get out of this. And it also gives me an understanding as to when I'm explaining, I cannot be too much geek, too much technical, but I got to explain it in an abstract way so that those who are new to 5G can also learn and understand this technology and build their career around it. Whether you are a marketer, doesn't matter. You want to become a developer, tester, operations, deployment person. You wanted to sell the 5G products, or you wanted to market the 5G products. I mean, nowadays, all the tech jobs require tech knowledge, right? There's nothing like only management knowledge. You see a big company CEO, they also talk really deep technology and technical things. Look at any company's top person, especially in the tech domain, right? They are really technical and technologists, and that's how it is. There's nothing like olden days where you do just one thing and you don't do other thing. That's gone. Right, nowadays, it's called as a future skills and innovation. That's what we focus mostly in Testoper. The future, if you are considered to have a future skills, it basically means that you not only know the depth of it, but you also know the breadth of it, and you are able to connect different things, and you are able to pivot from working from one area to another area, and you are able to deliver the outcome, whether you are working individually for your company or as a freelancer or for your own purpose. Okay, this is really good. Now, the last thing is learn how Magma works. To learn, yes, you will learn Magma. Magma is going to be the focus of this, and we will be sent. Like I said, we will be developing whatever that we are doing will be centered around Magma. You will learn a lot. Learn more about technology, definitely better understanding. Topology, yes, everything you will learn, and I can assure you on that. Thank you. So that gives kind of a great understanding as to what kind of an audience that we have. Awesome. So now, so far, what we have achieved is today, I introduced you and helped you understand different people in this, helping to make this whole thing successful. How Wavelabs, Brampton, and Testoper is coming together to help you guys to develop expertise and ecosystem by providing the platform and expertise from the industry leaders so you can develop your career. And I also kind of expressed as a summary that even though you understand the big picture, but from the third session onwards, we focus on Magma and we build expertise and ecosystem around Magma so you become successful and understand the end-to-end 5G network. And finally, we understood how we are going to collaborate, and I gave you all the links to make sure that you join next time through Eventbrite registration or through the link that I provided. And please spread this news. This is the most important thing. Bring your colleagues, bring your friends, and we need to grow this 40 to 400 people, and that's when the success comes. And the success doesn't come from one person, right? Success comes from the team. And I sincerely believe today, everyone who has joined, you not only want to develop your skills, but you also wanted to help develop your friends, colleagues, and other skills. So you collectively, we together can go and take the opportunities that are available out there from the jobs point of view and also from the business point of view. Now, it's that we reach there. We have 7 more minutes, and I just wanted to quickly take you through a little bit of memory lane for next 5 to 7 minutes. And now what we are going to learn next 7 minutes and the next 1 hour session in 2 weeks is fundamentals of wireline networks, wireless networks, what are all the adjacent technologies is going to play a role to make this 5G work, and how important, what are the standards and open sources that are out there, and how important it is for you to understand the big picture. And last but not least, you got to have at least a very basic knowledge on spectrum. So if you understand these 5 points, then at least you will understand a big picture. Okay. Then from the third session onwards, we will get into the details of the brain of the network, which is the core network, and start learning bits and bytes of that together. So now, just quickly, wanted to let you guys go taking through certain timelines so you can understand what has happened in the past. We all know, right? Most of you might have attended and answered this in the quiz. Who's the first guy with the phone, invented the phone and things like that, right? So see, Alexander Graham Bell, we all know, he patented the first modern telephone. And at that time, what happened was most of the phones, if 2 people wants to talk to each other, there was always someone sitting in between and picking up the phone from one person, asking to whom he wants to speak, and then calling another person, and then bridging those two persons through the wires, right? That's the picture that you see in the right-hand side. That is how it all started. And then little bit of automated switch came into the picture. The first one, widely popularly known as a Strauger switch, that allowed, instead of manual operation, a little bit of automated operations. So with certain electromagnetic related technologies that are in there, right? And rest are history. And today, what we have is just one phone, and we can do everything with it. It's quite amazing to see how things progress from where we were to now where we are, right? This is another nice, interesting picture that I wanted to kind of display how it all started, right? From crank phone to iPhone to smart devices. Today, we live in a world of smart devices. But can you imagine how we got here and how much of innovations, inventions, contributions, learnings, continuous learnings, effort is put in by people like us, who can do things outside of our day job and learn stuff, are the reasons for all these innovations, right? Innovations and inventions and the success doesn't come without effort. It doesn't come without sacrifices. And this is the reality. I mean, quite interesting to see how things have evolved from crank phone to smart devices, is it not? And I don't know if you guys still remember. Idea is not to really, tell you all and explain you all these things. I'm pretty sure if you are an engineer, probably you would have learned this in your colleges in olden days, and also even now, at least the basics are taught, right? What is switching? What is transmission? What is signaling? I don't know how many of you all remember. Can anyone share? You remember these words? Open OSI interconnection stacks. Have you guys remember? Any of you remember these things today? Yes, no? Yes, please. Yes, Salim. Yeah, awesome. So, I mean, the message that I wanted to give you in this slide is think about it like this, right? There is a planning, there is an execution, right? Because there's a lot of people are new to 5G and new to technology. So what do you do? Map planning to you dialing the number in your phone, and whatever the message goes from your phone to my phone, so that my phone rings, can just map that to planning, right? Um, and in telecom world, it's called as signaling. Okay. And then once I pick up the phone, we both speak with each other, right? So that in telecom world is called as media, the actual voice, right, that we speak. But in latest technology, it's also called as control plane, right? Signaling and control plane. These are the two words that you can map to planning, that enables you to make both of our phones ring. And that's your control plane signaling. And then the media path / user plane is after I pick up the phone, whatever that we speak, right? So always remember this, right? There is a planning, there is an execution, there is a signaling, there is a control plane, there is a user plane and media. So this concept is a very fundamental concept that you need to remember for everything that we are going to learn in future. Okay, at least my session, the technology session. Then nowadays, if I ask you, do you know what is TCP/IP stack? Then probably most of you all know. But this OSI stack is the guidance that was provided by ITU. It was called as an OSI model. And they said, hey, if two computers see, today, whatever I'm speaking in English, you are able to understand, right? Because we both know that English. So likewise, if two devices needs to talk to each other, they both have to speak in the same language. And it's called as protocol, right? Set of rules. Now, if you wanted to define that, and then you got to define it in a certain way. They call it sometimes as a stack. And this OSI model basically says the stack should be divided into 7 layers, like application, physical, session, transport, network, data, and presentation layer. And each of these layers is responsible for doing something. So if you build a stack that does all these things, and if both the devices adopt that stack, then both the devices can talk to each other. So TCP/IP is one of the stack, right? If my computer understands TCP/IP and your computer understands TCP/IP, we both can talk. Both devices can talk to each other, meaning we both can talk to each other, right? I just wanted to throw that to you guys at a very, very high level. Now, what we are going to do in our next session, right? I just wanted to leave with these 3 slides. What we will be doing in our next session is I'll just go through a little bit of the wireline network technology, but at a very high level, not to overwhelm you, but it's important that you kind of understand, right? Because it's going to help you to become better expert in 5G technology, right? How all these different things came together in the past and to now, which is 5G, to future, which is 6G. I'll also touch upon on that. So you will understand a big picture of all these things. And then what we can do is we will get into our 3rd session where we'll deep dive into Magma. So I'll talk a little bit about wireline. Then I'll jump into wireless, help you understand how wireless technology from 1G to 5G is evolved. And then what are the different technologies that comes together today to solve the customer problems or any particular industry problems. And it's also very important you understand standards and open sources, how it contribute towards the evolution of and development of technology and finally spectrum. So these are the 5 topics that we will go through in our next session, but at a very high level, okay, not too detailed, in a high level that you can understand the big picture. So we can jump right into the details of the core network, expertise building, and the ecosystem around core network that we are going to build for developing skills that are required to implement end-to-end private networks, like someone asked in the chat window. So, we respect the time. I know that it's 2 minutes over. Let me quickly check if there is any questions before